Okay, so this is the end. I'm gonna end up the Barbie thing here. So Barbie and Ken. Okay, as I said before, Barbie and Ken, to reach perfection, they have to be independent. They have to be independent of each other. They have to be androgynous, as I was saying before. At the end, Ken says something like, there is no Barbie without Ken, and there is no Ken without Barbie. And it sounds so simplistic and bonehead and ridiculous in the way that it's put. I watched this one scene at the end of it. Well, there is no Ken. There's no Barbie without Ken. She's like, well, you have to go out on your own and be your own. We have to be our own independent because we're stronger and better apart than we are together. Now, you've heard me say exactly the opposite on this show, despite whatever those red pill guys talk about all the time. No, I've said this a million times, and I will repeat it right now. Men and women are better together than we are apart. I have taken so much flack for that over the years. Yes, do I think that love exists? Of course I do. I've been happily married and been in love for a very long time. I'm pretty up on the idea. But I'm also up on the idea of complementarity. I also know that my strengths match my wife's weaknesses and her strengths match mine. We have a wonderful relationship. We still have regular sex. We're still playing on the same team. We're better together than we are apart. We're not independent androgynous things. I am a man and she is a woman. I am her man and she is my woman. And that's how it works. Oh, you possess? Yeah, I do. And she possesses me. And that's how it works. That's the way it should work. And by the way, that's not a religious thing. That's a pragmatic, evolutionary, complementary thing. Because that symbiosis has been the foundation of the making human beings the apex species on planet fucking Earth. So when I see messages about we're better together, we're better off independent and apart than we are together, that is extinction. That is an extinction agenda. It's not just about, they're killing the nuclear family. No, that's just the tip of the fucking iceberg. It's we're better off apart than we are together. That's an extinction agenda. That is like, antinatalism. That's not antinatalism. That is like, you want to talk about how like men are, you say, oh, those red pill guys, they're just as bad as the feminists. No, because us red pill guys, this red pill guy is saying we're better together than we are apart. As far as I know, I'm the only one saying this besides like a few other guys that I know, maybe the guys in Rule Zero. Watch my shit and you'll know this. I should have to repeat this shit. So you'll pardon me when I get a little crazy when I see Barbie teaching 7-year-old girls that we're better off apart than we are together. That is an extinction agenda. That is a dead meme. That is a meme that will lead to lower fertility rates for one, but it'll also lead to a lot of human misery. We're better together than we are apart. And have been for quite some time. That's been the foundation of the success of the species. You tell me something different, all I can say is you are against that. You are against the idea that men and women could be good, innate complements to one another. Oh, when men have power. Yeah, because we have power and authority, or should have authority, commensurate with the responsibilities that we have to protect, provide, and be parentally invested in a child that is our fucking kid. That's the only caveat. Please, the kid that comes out of your womb, just please make sure it's my kid. Don't cuck me. That's okay. If you were independent and you were secure in your masculinity and you didn't need a woman, but you wanted a woman, then you wouldn't feel bad for cucking out your wife or the woman you call your wife. You want to know why we have such a fucked up idea when it comes to marriage and relationships and why we're trying to figure this out in the 21st century. It's because exactly this. It's because exactly the idea that we're better off apart than we are together. Because if that's the case, then we just are together because we want each other. It's better if we need each other and we want each other. Because if you take that away, if you say, hey, well, women, no, I don't need a man, I want a man. Okay, what kind of man do you want? Well, I don't need one because I don't need protection, provisioning, and parental investment because I get that from the state or I get that indirectly from other men anyways, or this perception that I can do it myself, or I have, I'm a boss bitch, or I ought to be a boss, but the perception that I should be a boss bitch, or I could be, that there's a safety net for me regardless because the world will change for me rather than me changing for the performance of the world. So then I don't need a man, but I want a man. Men are superfluous at that point. That's why I was trying to explain to Dr. Phil. And finally, Ben Shapiro picks up on it. Bravo, Ben. But that's where it comes from. It's the idea that we're better together than we are apart instead of the opposite. And that's what this really comes down to. Well, they're breaking the baby heads and the baby doll heads at the beginning. Yeah, well, that's I'm sure that's part of it because, the idea of having a child in tow is a limitation on women that men don't have. That's horrible. That's unequal. Yeah, because you're a woman and I'm a man. It's horribly unequal. You're right. That's sexist. It's the double standard. Yes, it is. And there's a lot of other double standards for men too. When we don't make Barbie movies about those because that would sound like complaining and misogyny. Wait, that would sound like misogyny. Yeah, we can't have that. No. So when people say, and you'll hear tradcons talk about this, and I halfway agree with this. It's like, well, feminists are anti-family. Indirectly, ultimately, yes. Proximately, no. The proximate goal is women need to have the freedom, the fail-safe, to have kids whenever they want to, and to not have kids whenever they want to, and they shouldn't be guilted, and they shouldn't have the responsibility or worry about it, even if they did or they didn't. And like men don't have that luxury. We don't have the luxury to do shit like that. We have to perform. We have to, like, men are what we do. We have to perform. It's a burden of performance. Talked about this a million times in my books. So when you are when people say that, well, feminists are anti-family, they're anti-family in the ultimate sense, but in the proximate sense, it's let's bash the baby dolls' heads in at the beginning of the Barbie movie. That's the proximate goal. That's the yuck it up goal. That's the I've made this case with good old Michaela Peterson, as a matter of fact, when I did the Kill to Party episode. They want to have the kid, but they don't want to have the responsibilities for the kid because the kid infringes on their freedom to go party or to go and be something more, to go. And it doesn't have to be party, by the way. It could be like, I don't want a kid because I need to become a boss bitch. I need to start my business. I need to go to school. It could be that. It doesn't necessarily have to be a party, but it could also be like, I want to go party with OJ at Jing, right? It could be that too. And I got to find a babysitter. She's going to need a babysitter. Thought mommy's in the club, right? The reason that's funny is because it's called, the dynamic is called Kill to Party. I don't need a kid. Well, you have a kid. What are you going to do about it? Well, in some cases, women actually kill the kid. Other cases, they just put it in the car and let it sleep there overnight while they're out partying in the club. Or it could be, I'm going to get Grammy to come and watch the kid while I go and, learn pass the bar, right? I'm going to go learn I got to go to college. I got to have a job. I got to be able to live my life, but I got this kid in tow. Now, that might be a more responsible way to do it, but it's still the same dynamic. You still got the kid in tow. And that's really, again, that's the proximate goal that the Barbie movie is trying to say, hey, you don't need kids. Motherhood sucks. You're a blank slate. Everybody should be equal, although we're not equal because men and women are better apart than we are together. And so we're not really equal if we are just sort of like these autonomous things with no dick and no vagina. We're just a plastic, smooth cooter, smooth, no dork, So I also at the end here, it's like also the matriarchy is not like stop you. Like, by the way, Ben Shapiro, Brittany Venti, whoever else is using this term, it's not matriarchy. Stop using that term. Matriarchy doesn't exist and never has existed and won't exist. You are referring to gynocentrism. Gynocentrism is 100% authority and 0% responsibility. That's what you're after. That's really the word you're looking at. It's tyranny, essentially. It's female supremacism. And that's what feminism has been since 1849.